Welcome to part 33 of Let's Play Metal Gear Solid on the Sony PlayStation. Let's continue the game. Okay, so we're about to fight Vulcan Raven on extreme difficulty. On extreme difficulty, he never stops shooting, and that's problematic for two reasons. One, it's very difficult to know where he is, because on normal difficulty, when he shoots, that means he's found you, so you sort of know where he is. That doesn't apply here. And also it means using the Nikita or the Stinger missiles is very difficult because he will shoot them more easily, or at least more readily. So Vulcan Raven is quite tough on extreme difficulty. Given that, it means I'm going to have to use the C4s and the Claymores a bit more. One other thing about Vulcan Raven that I didn't mention before, it's just sort of weird that he's all pretentious, before and after the fight, talking about doing battle, and yet during the fight all he does is run around and go "Ugh," and die. It's like he's two different people. The one who's doing the fight and the one who sort of talks before and afterwards. Okay. He will also knock the crates down more, I find, which means that it's harder to run away from him, but conversely, it's also easier to predict where he'll be, because he can't go past the crates either. I also think this fight is a bit unfair on extreme difficulty, because I know they've made it harder, not having the radar, but this game was designed for a radar. That's why we get a top-down view. And not having that just makes it artificially harder, if you ask me. Let's use a Stinger on him. There we go. More clay? Clay more. Oh, whoops. I'll just use a claymore. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so he never stops shooting. He never stops. All I can do is just keep waiting for him to appear here, really. Oh, here he is. There we go. Then he has to go this way because it's blocked off. Wrong one. No, missed it. There he is. No, I don't want to put 2 down because then I'll forget where they are. No, missed him. Oh, there he is. Here he comes. Okay, so out of C4s, I'd like to see if I can get some more. That's Nikitas. The Nikitas are very difficult to use because he will shoot them out of the air, whatever it is. Sometimes when he comes here, he'll go up rather than down, and you can use a Stinger missile on him then. Oh no, he's going that way. That means he's coming this way probably, so I'll better play more there. Good, yeah. Oh. Oh no, there he is. Yep. Nah, I missed him. Oh. He just goes mental. Absolutely mental. Does that mean he's coming this way? There we go. Wrong place. Have to put a claymore here. And then one here. There we go. No, the other one didn't hurt him. Oh, he's trapped. I'll have to go back. Oh, here he comes. Yeah, wrong way. Couple more hits, I think. Oh no. I have to keep running. That was amazingly close. Right. How did he get over there? Good, right. Oh no. Rawr. Just one more hit and then he's done. Going this way? No. Can you get a stinger off him on him quickly? No. I'll get the stingers at the ready. How is that even possible? Come on, you little git. No, it wasn't equipped. I'll just give up on that, I think. Oh, here he comes again. I'll have to put a claymore there, I think. There we go. Yeah, this ought to do it. There we go. Good. Yes, the boss no longer wants you, whatever rubbish. Now you go back to being pretentious after going and die for the last 15 minutes. Oh no. Right, good. Oh yeah, the ration's frozen. If you try to use it, this happens. Makes a funny noise. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's use my chaff. Okay, let's go. Zoom. Okay, now we have to climb Metal Gear again for the millionth time. Here come the monks. Hit it, guys. Right. Okay, just because the Arms Tech president is, the president of the company, why do they have to call him President Baker? I mean, he's not their president. He's not the president of the USA. He's not Mr. President, as they call him. So why do they have to call him President Baker? I mean, if I knew him, I wouldn't say, "Excuse me, President, no, I don't work for your company, so I'm not going to call you President, I'll just call you Mr. Baker." He isn't a political president, he's just like a manager of a company or some rubbish. Oh.
Great.
Da 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 da. Right, where's my old friend? Oh, he's all the way over there now. Don't care.
I've entered the PAL code. I see them.
Oh. Oh no, not a ladder. Next generation special forces can't climb a ladder. They haven't had that training, you see. You need specialist training for ladders. That's next generation special forces. Like Star Trek The Next Generation with Gates McFadden and Geordie LaForge, who comes from Newcastle. Gates McFadden, whose brother is called Fences, and whose father is called Doors, and mother is called Dining Rooms. Anyway. Okay, so we have to get the PAL key. Can't remember where it is, so we're going to have to get radioactivated and do some radio activities. One of the very few jokes in Modern Simpsons, and I consider Modern Simpsons like anything after Series 10, really. I actually used to have all the seasons on my hard drive up to about season 24 or something, and then I thought to myself one time, why am I still watching these? These are terrible and boring. But so I only have up to Series 10 now. But one of the funny jokes, one of the very few funny moments in sort of Modern Simpsons post Series 10 was, there's near the nuclear power station, it says danger radioactivity, and Bart says, "No, that means we do radio activities." Yeah, that's it. That's the only funny joke I remember from Modern Simpsons. Anyway, oh yeah, we need to use a Stinger missile on here, don't we? Okay, let's use the thermals. Hope it's not inside a rat. Right, it's a bomb. No, there's the power key, right. There's a bomb in deer! Sorry, that's my Arnold impression. There's a bomb! If you want to do an Arnold impression, instead of saying there, just say deer, and then pretty much every, your whole accent sounds like Arnold. I'm going over deer, and then, then you sound like him. You know, I'm not going over there, I'm going over deer. Arnold's last good film, Terminator 2. Last Action Hero, awful, obviously. Junior, beyond crap. Awful. What's the other one? True Lies. I can't stand True Lies. Can't stand that film. Eraser is sort of watchable, but not really good. Only in a sort of jokey way is Eraser good. And obviously, Batman and Robin is just... I don't even know what's going on in it. It's just so utterly boring. I mean, everything he says is just an ice pun. End of Days and The Sixth Day are pretty forgettable as well, apart from the silly quotes on End of Days, which is not a good thing. That, you know, that's just sort of funny for the wrong reasons. Yeah, so the last good Arnold film was Terminator 2. Anyway. What are we doing? We're going to... Oh no, we need to go back upstairs now, don't we, to get the... put the PAL key in. Here's a scenario. Oh no! A nuclear bomb is going to, you know, be dropped on a major city and kill millions of people. But don't worry, because we have the PAL key. Oh no, but we can't use it because we're nowhere near a freezer or a blast furnace. Yeah, what a great fail-safe that is. No, you can't use the failsafe. Millions are going to die because we've accidentally let off the nuclear bomb. You know, because we're not near a blast furnace. Absolutely bonkers. Who made up that? A complete nincompoop. That's who made it up. Oh, I know who made it up. It was Hideo. Hideo killed the radio star. Right. Anyway, what are we doing? Yeah, the ration won't defrost unless you hold it next to your body. If you equip it and then talk to Colonel Campbell or Master, you know, with his excellent disguise of sunglasses, he will tell you, well, one of them will tell you to hold it close to your body to defrost it. Okay, let's use a chaff and get the PAL key out. That takes care of PAL key number 1. Now to make the PAL key cold. No shit. Oh, he's a rebel, having his cigarettes there with him. What a rebel. He's so cool because he smokes. I'm impressed. What a rebel. He's a bad boy. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that he's a soldier and he smokes. Oh, what a rebel. I have so much respect for him. Oh good, what a bonus. Anyway, so now we're going back to Vulcan Raven's lair, the giant freezer. The only thing I remember David Hayter being in, the actor David Hayter who does the voice here, is he was in this really cruddy superhero film years ago that I saw, that my brother-in-law lent me a DVD. It was called Guyver, that he picked up from the local market, you know, for like £1, for like a budget range. It was called The Guyver Dark Hero or something. And when I tried watching it, was absolute crap, obviously. I mean, I can't remember what on earth is going on, but I remember thinking, that voice sounds like, you know, from this game, and it really is. He was in this. I mean, that's what it's called, The Guyver Dark Hero or something, and it's absolutely awful. I had no idea what was going on, like some bloke dressed up in a costume or something. Not to say I'm a fan of superhero films anyway, because they're just awful anyway. But just low budget crud. Anyway, that's the only other thing in which I've seen David Hayter, the actor David Hayter. I remember reading somewhere that it was a sort of shoo-in that he would do the voice for the second game. But apparently the third one he had to audition again, and people were like, oh, why should he audition? He's the voice of the character, even though it's a different character in the third game. Although I think he's not a good voice actor. I can't stand his voice. It's just annoying, and you know, I think he should have auditioned and then they should have given it to someone else for the third game, because it's not the same voice. I know he's a clone and everything, but then so is Liquid. He's a clone, yet his voice is completely different. So why should, you know, the original Big Boss, whatever he's called, why should he have the same voice as this character? But I don't rate David Hayter as some sort of amazing voice actor, you know. I mean, especially as an acting credit, is only, you know, the Guyver Dark Hero, whatever rubbish it was. You know, some bloke running around in a costume. Anyway. I mean, and he only has cigarettes because the whole character is sort of based off, like, oh yes, from Kurt Russell Escape from New York, which is an okay film, but Donald Pleasance's acting in that was ferociously bad. But, you know, it's like, oh yes, he's a bad boy, he wears an eye patch, and he smokes because he doesn't care. Yeah, I mean, haven't we done that? I mean, didn't that, you know, that sort of mindset end in the 80s, like smoking being some sort of cool thing that bad boys do, and then this character does it? I mean, what a cliche. What an utter cliche. And it doesn't make any sense anyway, because how could he possibly smuggle his cigarettes, you know, by ingesting them? They'd all be crumpled up just because he has no stomach acid. How would he swallow them? How would he regurgitate them? How would he regurgitate anything if he has no stomach acid? You know, there'd be no liquid inside his stomach. So how could he regurgitate anything? It makes no sense. And how does he have the packet? Did he swallow the packet as well? It'd all be crumpled up. Not to mention that the whole cigarette smoke thing makes no sense with the lasers, because the lasers are supposed to be infrared. Just because, you know, smoke particles are hitting the lasers, why does that mean they're red? Why does that mean they're red? Because they're infrared. You cannot see infrared. It is invisible. Infrared is not red. It is stupid. It makes no sense. And also, how do the thermal goggles see the lasers? Because you can only see laser light if it's hitting off something. If there's no smoke there to hit off, how would the thermal goggles see a laser? And also, if the whole place is cold, he wouldn't need cigarette smoke to show the lasers, even if they weren't infrared, even if they were just red, because he can see his own breath. You know, that would show the laser light if they weren't infrared. It makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. You know, this whole game is riddled with contradictions and bad plot devices and really bad acting, and I'm very happy to say that after I do this playthrough, I am most likely never, ever, ever going to play this game again, because I am at the stage now where I actually hate it. I detest this game. It's a bad game for many reasons, it really is. If you want a good Metal Gear Solid game, try the Game Boy Color version. That is a good game. There's so much to do, it's a good story, it's believable, there were good boss battles. You know, and you don't need the stupid voice actors. And everything in this game is just a cliche. The bad boy cigarette thing I just mentioned. The, oh no, war is so bad, and the pretentious music at the start, with the warbling, as if war is so depressing, isn't it awful? Oh, the horror. We've done that to death. We know war is depressing. We've all seen Apocalypse Now. We've all seen Platoon. We've all seen... What other film is there? I mean, those 80s war films. We've seen them all. We know war's depressing. And then on the backdrop of this, we have a giant tank that's walking around, which makes no sense because that's an inefficient tank. That's why no other army makes a walking tank, because they're not good weapons. Oh, anyway, where are we going now? I always say every time just before I make another video of this game, I always think I'm not going to moan about the game. I'm not going to moan about the game, but I always end up doing, because there's just so many things to moan about this game. So many things. It is a game that is easy to moan about, because it's not good. It has not aged well. Although at least the music is sort of good. Although not anymore because I've heard it too much. At least the music is sort of good. In the second game, you get that weird sort of... I don't even know what it is. It's sort of like... It sounds like a clarinet. Sort of like weird clarinet noises in the background as you sort of go into different places. And then those stupid guards that wear gas masks, and all they do is walk around going, "Nothing here." And that stupid Russian accent. "Nothing here." God, I can't stand that. I mean, why did they think that would be good? Stupid guards walking around with those gas masks on. And again, all the game turns into in the second game is just wandering around with that tranquilizer gun, shooting guards in the head, and then turning around and facing the front and trying to get their stupid dog tags, whatever they call them. And that's another cliche. Why is it called a dog tag? They're not dogs, they're tags that show their military ID or whatever it is. Oh, and that's all the game turns into. Running around after those guards, listening to them say "nothing here" in some stupid, really bad Russian accent. Oh, I can't bear that game. Anyway, although admittedly my voice is, I imagine, is really annoying as well, so I'm aware of my own shortcomings, believe me. Anyway, I'll just put the frozen PAL key in, and then I'll save the game and end the video, I think. And in the next video we'll probably complete the game. We'll just need to put the hot PAL key in, which means we have to put up with the conspiracy phone call, and then Naomi's sob story. And then we can fight Metal Gear for the millionth time, and then do the car chase, and then leave. And the bloke who does the voice of like the person that controls the soldiers in Metal Gear Solid 2, that's W. Morgan Shepherd. He was Colonel Hargreaves, whatever it is, in the first Medal of Honor game, if you remember. The one who goes, "Come on in, Lieutenant," and "Patterson, get in here." That was W. Morgan Shepherd. He's been in loads of stuff. He was on the last episode of Quantum Leap, the only good episode of Quantum Leap, apart from Future Boy. And he was also, he was on the last episode of Quantum Leap, and he was on an episode of Star Trek Voyager, where there's some sort of big monster, and it makes the crew believe they're going home or something. Oh yeah, and well, that in a moment. But he was also on an episode of Star Trek Next Generation, the one where he takes over Data's body in season 1 or 2 or whatever. Anyway, that episode of Star Trek Voyager where there's some sort of monster and they make the the crew sort of shut off the Doctor because the Doctor can see through him or something, to see through the monster, and then he's some sort of monster hunter, like sort of Moby Dick or whatever rubbish, Captain Ahab. I don't know what he's called. I haven't read the book, but yeah, it's just that episode is just another one of those cliches in Star Trek Voyager. Just all you ever hear, it's always like, oh, either an alien creature is sentient, i.e. it thinks or whatever like people do, or it works on instinct, and that's it. Oh, and, you know, because that monster, you know, the monster hunter played by W. Morgan Shepherd goes, oh, he is smart, he is clever. Well, actually, says the Doctor, actually, we think he works on instinct. Yeah, because that's it, isn't it? That's what all intelligence is. It's either instinct or it's sentience. It's just... Oh, and another thing about Star Trek is the whole Star Trek Next Generation universe with Voyager and DS9. It's just so, it's just not real in the sense of, you know, it's just so not imaginative. It's just, you know, the whole universe, the whole galaxy, you know, all the wonders that could exist in the galaxy. And all it is just a giant United Nations with just warring factions and boring empires and everyone looking like people. That's how unimaginative Star Trek is. That's all the galaxy is just a load of different people, like a big version of the United Nations. That's it. That is the whole universe in a nutshell. Just people going around doing diplomacy. What a bore. I mean, if I were into space travel and all that stuff, I would be so disappointed if I found out that the whole universe, instead of being this amazing, wondrous thing that we'd never conceived of before, all it is just a giant, boring United Nations with diplomatic stuff and boring empires and boring wars. That is the complaint I have about Star Trek. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, I'm going to save the game now.
You caught Snake?
Save it over the first one. Okay, thanks very much for watching. In the next video, I'll be doing the hot PAL key, you know, by going to this nuclear storage facility's resident blast furnace, because apparently a place where we store old nuclear weapons has its own working blast furnace which is never switched off, just conveniently, just for the whole purpose of the PAL key. Anyway, so we'll go there and then we'll do the PAL thing and then we'll do Metal Gear and then fight Liquid, even though his name's Snake as well, and then we'll also do the car chase, and then that's the end of Metal Gear Solid for me. I'm never playing this game again in my entire life. Ah, wonderful. Anyway, thanks for watching, and goodbye.